to the daycare. Welcome to the daycare. Welcome to the daycare. Welcome to the daycare. Stay away from cities with dyke mayors. They spray the pipes major. Don't play with your life, player, or shake the dice, player. But if you got a quota, then stay away from toddlers. These bitches are fight promoters. Welcome to the daycare. Welcome to the daycare. Welcome to the daycare. Welcome to the daycare. Train your toddler. Please train your toddler. Whippings, timeouts, take her allowance. Cause I swear she will destroy your life if you allow it. Fucking, I'm tired of rapping. Yo, low, bring in the choir. Welcome to the daycare. Welcome to the daycare. Welcome to the daycare. Welcome to the daycare.
Why did Daddy say so?
Because we were talking about every night. I wanted some boyfriend, so I'm moving out.
Because Daddy told you can't have a boyfriend in his house? So you're moving out?
Yes.
Welcome to the Dirty Folks Daycare. I am your tolerologist, Dirty Folks. Today we're about to talk about some tribal stuff, which is kind of what I'm trying to wait until to get to 1,000 subs for. But I got to tell you something that happened to me yesterday. So yesterday I called the president of the Black Wall Street of Chicago, right? Oh, that's why I had that up. Go back to that. And what ended up happening was I ended up having this conversation with my mans. And a few things happened. So I want to show you guys something. I'm gonna get straight into it today. Man. Today's just gonna be a short but power pack thing. I'm gonna do a Q&A. I'm gonna open up the chat. So give me like 15 minutes to do what I'm gonna do, say what I'm gonna say. Then I'm gonna let y'all in if y'all want to come in. I want to show you guys what Black Wall Street initially was. And I need a favor. I need you guys to put a 1 in the chat if you can hear the video. I want y'all to put a 1 in the chat if y'all can hear the video.
From the Negro Wall Street of America, which is a term that was affixed to the community, according to lore, by Booker T. Washington. Black Wall Street is in many ways a misnomer.
Can you guys hear it? Can you guys hear the audio? Put a 1 in the chat too if you can't. All right, cool. Appreciate
you. Which is a term that was affixed to the community, according to lore, by Booker T. Washington. Black Wall Street is in many ways a misnomer, because what the business community in the Greenwood District, the Black community in Tulsa, was like, was more like, would be a Black Main Street. So these
okay, 2 things. Number 1, Black Wall Street was coined by Booker T. Washington. You guys got to understand that initially Black Wall Street wasn't called Black Wall Street. It was actually called Little Africa. Black Wall Street is revisionist history. So everything, just as even from the title of what you call it, we're talking revisionist history. It's a romanticized version. The next thing they said is Black Wall Street wasn't Wall Street at all. It was Main Street. They didn't have any banks. They didn't move any stocks. It was just people who worked in a certain district, which is everywhere USA until the 1950s when they started integration. But we can take that back.
Would be a Black Main Street. So these were not, banking enterprises and investment enterprises. These were mostly small businesses. So there were movie theaters and dance halls and barber shops and grocery stores and restaurants and service providers like doctors and lawyers and pharmacists and dentists. These are relatively well-off Black folks who contributed to the economic fortunes of places like the Greenwood District, like Wall Street in Tulsa, like the successful Black business community in Muskogee, Oklahoma, and like the successful small all-Black towns that dotted Oklahoma during this period. The conditions were particularly oppressive in the Deep South, in places like Alabama, Mississippi. So there were people who came to Oklahoma during the land openings beginning in 1889, African-American people who recruited Black folks to come from the Deep South to Oklahoma, really with the idea that they could get a fair shake in Oklahoma. A number of notable figures dotted the Greenwood District in its early heyday. O.W. Gurley is considered the father of the Greenwood District.
O.W. Gurley. And I'm going to get to that when I go into the diatribe, but I just want you to remember that name.
He's a relatively wealthy Black man from Arkansas who came to Oklahoma in the land run in 1889, ended up in Tulsa. 1906, he started his first business. He owned the Gurley Hotel and had a grocery store as well. He also bought land and sold it to other Black folks in the community at that time. So in some senses, he helped populate the district. So for those reasons, he's considered the founder and the father of the district. Black Wall Street.
Let me pause it right there. I want to show you guys a meme that I just saw earlier, yesterday, and I saved it because it means so much to me. It just does. This is the theme of this podcast today. This is the theme of today's podcast. Generational wealth starts with one risk taker. Let me repeat that. Generational wealth starts with one risk taker. Listen here, guys. O.W. Gurley bought some land, gave it to other hardworking guys. And I said guys, I didn't say women. Hardworking guys. So those men can make money and take care of their family. He has every reason to be called the father of Tulsa. Very much so. What Black people want to do, I'm going to bring that back up. I'm going to talk to this. What Black people want to do is they think that Black people made Black Wall Street. Black people have never done anything. White people either. No. History is great man history. Once again, man. History is great man history. Our country was built by 52 men. Only 52 people signed the Constitution. The friendship treaty that allowed the Native Americans, which is probably you, in order to have land tax free and be able to do what you want to do, was signed by 12 people. To this day, they still call it the Muskegon Tribal Council. There's not a lot of people that do anything, but the right people can make everything happen. The reason I say that Black Wall Street, which y'all think is Black Wall Street, but that would be created by Black people, is number one, y'all got way too many goddamn women at the table. And women are creatures of comfort. They're not creatures of building. So you can't build a nothing with a Tyler. At best, she can interior decorate what you built. Right? So, far from a Harvard student, just had the balls to do it. Even before the Slick Rick said came up because of oil money. Actually, that came later, bro. Really, and they just said it, and I'll play it again. It came up because of the gold rush and oil money. They had a lot of natural resources out there. So I'm not negating what you're saying. I'm saying that initially they went out there for the gold, then they found the oil. But in either case or whatever case, I'm not going to go into the destruction of Black Wall Street. I'm going to let this play out a little bit long, but I'm not going to go into the destruction. I just want you guys to understand the infrastructure.
Street, the Greenwood District, was also a community of necessity. There wouldn't have been a need for a separate Black economic island in Tulsa had it not been for Jim Crow segregation. So Black people were not able to participate fully in the mainstream economy dominated by white Tulsans. So they created their own economy. This community thrived up until the first devastation, which was the massacre. Many Black families spent days, weeks, and months living in tent cities set up by the Red Cross. And
hold on, man, because they're getting to something that's not my point. I wanna stay on what I'm staying on. Yes, it was. Yes, they did bomb Tulsa. Those men died on their feet, though. When the white people came to attack them, everybody got their pistols. It was like this our shit. They didn't grab a sign and march 64 blocks and say Black Lives Matter. They went out there and they said, man, it's my shit. And as a man, I'm going to protect what's mine. So I give them much respect for that. They lost the fight, but they legends. Whether you want to call it infamy or you want to call it legacy, they went out like men. They earned like men. They died like men. They lost. People lose a fight every day, B. The problem that the Black Tulsans had is they plugged and popped into somebody else's infrastructure. That's why it wasn't Black Wall Street. It was just an affluent Black neighborhood. No different than Harlem in New York or Hyde Park in Chicago. It was an affluent Black neighborhood. But they could be relocated at any time, right? When white people leave an area, when the Black people come, you call it white flight. When white people want the land back, you call it gentrification. But either case or whatever case, they didn't have a place of their own. So the reason they were fighting is because when that boy got locked up and his dad and his friends went out there with them pistols and said, man, my son didn't do nothing. You better let him out or we're going to let this bitch ride. As they should. The initial problem was they were so close in the proximity of who are quote unquote their neighbors, but are also their jailers and their jury, that they felt like the only thing they could do was take it to the guns. That's a lack of infrastructure. I don't blame them for that. We're talking 1890. I don't blame them for that. But I'm going to tell you what else was happening in the 1890s. They had something called carpetbaggers. I'm going to show you what a carpetbagger is. First of all, I just like to hear Google say stuff. It turns me on.
Carpetbagger.
Carpetbagger. I like that. I'm going to do it again.
Carpetbagger.
Okay. A carpetbagger is a noun, derogatory or informal. A political candidate who seeks election in an area where they have no local connections. Historical. In the U.S., a person from northern states who went to the South after the Civil War to profit from Reconstruction. A person perceived as an unscrupulous opportunist. The organization is right for carpetbaggers. Okay, so this is what the carpetbaggers did then and do now. You don't call them carpetbaggers, but when you guys start talking about the Koch brothers and George Soros, people that come in and buy politicians and buy activists so they can push their goals with somebody else's face. Carpetbaggers. Initially, um, and I should have pulled this up, but I didn't think about it till now. Initially, when black people became um, politicians in the 1900s, right? Then, as now, there were real, no real financial base for them. You know what's so crazy? There were black politicians fresh out of slavery that were state reps, senators, um, city council people, and they got taken out during the Great Depression, and you didn't get any more black politicians till like the 1970s. I'm gonna show you real quick. I'm gonna show y'all a video real quick about the politicians of the 1900s. First of all, they were all Republicans, right? Don't tell me nothing about no Dixiecrat things flip, because things did not flip. Liberals have been liberaling from day one. They wanted you in slavery then, matriarchy slavery. That's why they support your women now. They still want you in slavery. They want everybody to be dependent on taxes and social services. That's why they don't fund businesses. They only fund social services, activists and shit like that. Because they want you dependent. So when they rebrand slavery, you don't even know you were a slave. They'll just call you an essential worker, something like that. But I'm gonna show you this real quick. This is about black politicians during Reconstruction. Slick Rick, I hear what you're saying, bro, and I'm not arguing anything you're saying, bro. I'm not saying that you're wrong. You're right, but that's not why they went out there initially. Initially, they went out there just so they would be treated as men, so they wouldn't have to go under the thumb of Jim Crow. But I digress.
People don't realize that African Americans have always been a part of this nation's democracy. Black people always strongly desired the right to vote. They've always fought for being included in the...
Pause. Let me say something real quick. Democracy is a misnomer. We live in a republic. We live in a representative democracy, but we live in a republic. So the fact that you guys think, but that's how y'all feel about Black Wall Street, and that's why I'm doing this pod, because y'all really think that y'all voices matter. And I'm not saying they don't, but I'm saying that your voices are represented by one person that goes to the Republic, like on Star Wars, when all the Republic was there for Palpatine, and then y'all take y'all voices by y'all representative, and he says, this is what we want. But y'all are run by carpetbaggers. So the political process won't work for you. I was showing you guys before, and I'll show you again in this video, just so y'all to eloquate my point. But everything that you think is black is really run by white women. To the point that I'm arguing with black women when they tell me to put my business in their name because they the minorities. We'll get minority contracts. I'm like, bitch, look at me. These bitches is the ops. But anyway, let's go back.
Political process. And then also, I think a lot of people might take for granted that African Americans always get to have that right, because we had it before and we lost it. And so, presumably it could be lost again if people don't fight to protect it.
Pause. That's a misnomer too. Blacks never had the right and then lost it. Black men have always had the right to vote. The Black Voting Act was not for men. The Black Voting Right was so black women could vote. Black men always had the right to vote. But the fact that black stands for women, gays, and felons, you just assume that you will lose it because your woman will lose it. They need to lose it because these bitches vote wrong 10 out of 10 times. They never do shit right. Can't raise their kids right. Bad nutritionists, bad teachers. Fucking, they make permanent decisions on temporary emotions. They hate men and masculinity. They root up women no matter how dumb the woman is. They fall for the logo every time. The bitches don't know shit. Everything they say sound like a Twitter meme. They don't need to vote. But the Black Voting Rights Act was for black women. It was not for you. You could vote ever since the 13th Amendment. So even that's a misnomer. But let's continue. That music corny as
When
shit.
we learn about the Reconstruction era in school, it's often taught as a dark period in American history, a time of upheaval and unrest right after the Civil War. But what often gets overlooked is that for a brief period of time, thousands of Black representatives were elected to office all over the South.
My estimate is that there were about 2,000 African American men who held public office during Reconstruction. Offices ranging from the Senate, there were 2 Black senators, 14 members of the House of Representatives, 600 or 700 members of state legislatures, and then dozens of other offices, state level, local level, etc.
So what was going on was that, first of all, a lot of the former Confederates, the most outspoken leaders of white supremacy, were not allowed to serve in Congress. And so, with those people absent, there were people that did believe that African Americans should be folded into the fabric of American civil and political life, and that did advocate for Black people to be able to vote. And then,
All right, guys. So all I wanted to show you guys is that you always had the right to vote. Men always had the right to vote. And with that right to vote, you had the right to vote in judges. That was the problem with Jim Crow. Jim Crow didn't want you to have your own judge so you can have your own justice. Just like they had Black police officers, but the Black officers weren't allowed to carry guns. They just had billy clubs. It was like liquor store security, basically, because they were afraid of the upheaval of armed Black people. I'm gonna take a quick break. I'll come right back, and I'm gonna show you what Black Wall Street is today, or at least the semblance of what they think it is today. I'll be right back. Toddler tales are crazy stories that could only happen to me. Each tale is endorsed by Toddlerology and the Marry Your Secretary courses. In a world where toddlers are only loyal to her employer, learn the skills needed to train your toddler to work at your relationship like she works at her job. There's courses for every level of your relationship status, including polygamy. Need support? Join scheduled study groups with other Toddlerology members. Click the link below. And now, back to today's story. Okay, guys, I'm going to show you this real quick. And we're just talking Chicago. We're not be talking nationally. Like and sub as y'all come in, man. Like and sub as y'all come in. This guy right here is Mark. What was Mark's last name? Let me look at my phone real quick. I could just click it, but I don't want to. Mark. Man, I don't know. His name Mark, though. I guess I will have to click it. He runs the National Black Wall Street Chicago. Mark Allen. Here's the problem with Mark Allen. The biggest problem with Mark Allen. Mark is dead. Mark died of a heart attack or a stroke. Damn, how did he die? A stroke? A cancer? He might have had cancer. But Mark's dead. I do want to say this about Mark. And I want to be serious about this. When I started No Show Organic, Mark was helping me get a call center. Mark was inviting me to events with some of the biggest names you've never heard in Chicago business. Mark put me in a position, and we talking as late as this had to be 2016, 2017. Mark put me in a room with Ed Gardner that runs they got bought out by Luster. But that Soulfro, put me in the room with that. Put me in the room with the black couple that owns Ice Theaters. Put me in a room with the black guys that own Reggio's Pizza. put me in a room with at that time, Martin Luther King III ran Bounce TV, but his man, the one that plugged MLK Trey, put me in a room with him. Mark was trying to groom me so I could pay him money, and that. But you know, you gotta keep the lights on, so that's cool. Mark kind of understood the economics, right? But I need you to understand, this is National Black Wall Street. So then there is Ron Carter. Ron Carter runs Black Wall Street Chicago. Let me put this up here. Ron runs Black Wall Street Chicago. I spoke to Ron last night. Apparently, according to Ron, there are no less than 13 different organizations in the Chicagoland area that call themselves Black Wall Street. All right. So the reason I reached out to them is because I need sponsors, you know what I'm saying, for the Linecoin League. And I wanted black business owners, you know, the millionaires that's all around us that don't come to the hood because they know that wherever women, gays, and felons are, it's gonna be some bullshit. But I keep telling y'all, dog, I supposed to been going national, bro. So we were having a conversation, and he was telling me about what his Black Wall Street was about and what all the rest were about. And this is a picture of Ron like 20 years ago, because dude in the 60s now, 70s maybe. He a true boomer. He ain't talking about shit. Boomers never talking about shit. And what he wanted to convince me of is two things. I'm gonna show you this real quick. So what Ron wants to do is, first Ron wanted to take 75th Street and make it the Black Wall Street district. That did not work. And it didn't work because the alderman in that area said, man, he don't care about black, he care about money. Here's the irony of that. And I meant to upload this earlier. I may show you guys. I don't know how I could upload it. But I actually took videos of the area. I'll show it to you. Of the area that he's talking about. He wanted to do Black Wall Street. I actually took videos of that earlier today. So basically what they want to do is they want to take all that land and make it black businesses. The alderman said, man, where's the money at? Where's the grants? Where's the support? Where's the community support? And hold on, because this has nothing to do with what I'm talking about. I'm showing y'all this has nothing to do with what I'm talking about. But I'll show you this picture. Why not? Blexa, what you just said isn't really accurate. But that's why I'm doing this live. But it's not accurate. I'm not saying it's not true. I'm just saying it's not accurate. But that's why I'm doing this live. So what you guys got to understand is when black people want to do anything black, it's doomed to fail. It's doomed to fail. Because they want to do something. First of all, when they say black, the first thing they talk about is women and children. But they want men to do the work. Because they know intrinsically men are awesome, but they want men to be slaves to the matriarchy. So number one, that's why it doesn't work. Because men don't want to sign up for slavery like that. The second reason it doesn't work is because activists have no business acumen, and politics is the business of business. So if business owners want to come together and do that, business owners could. Activists telling politicians that we're going to establish businesses without having the initial businesses will never work. Right? I want to address what Blexa said, though. Blexa said the majority of black neighborhoods in Chicago had something like a Black Wall Street or black-owned shopping district up until 2010. That's not true. It's never been true in America. I mean, in Chicago, it's never been true. Up until the 1980s, maybe the early 1990s, they had areas where there were small black businesses, but even then, all the major businesses were still run by Arabs. You've been getting carpetbagged our entire life. our entire life, to the point that if I ask you, who do you think owns gas stations and liquor stores, you'll say Arab. And I say, who's the landscapers and construction, you'll say Mexicans or Polish. When I say who's police, you'll say Irish. Like, there's associations in your mind already. So you know it's not true. Or you would think of a black person. If I ask you who is the best athlete, you'll say black. Because you're the menstrual class. Like and sub as y'all come in. Pay your daycare fees. So when I'm talking to Ron last night, he's telling me that the key to salvation for the coloreds somehow, some way, is helping black people buy an old dilapidated foreclosed building and make it a grocery store. That's his plan for salvation. It says it right here. I'll read it to you. I'll make it bigger so you guys can read it with me. Good news and a long time coming. During August National Black Business Month, join us Thursday, 7 p.m. for a conference call on an update on securing the building for the State Street Food Coop. Right? So, and this is a picture of the building, this abandoned building on 27th and State. And they want this to be the Black Wall Street his branch of Black Wall Street seminal accomplishment. Now here's the problem I have with that. For that to be your seminal accomplishment, and I've known you for 12 years, and y'all ain't did shit except to do little pop-up shops and vacant lots and stuff like that. I almost had a conversation with them about everything they're doing is folly, because they're doing it as a brand, and the brand is Black Wall Street, and people think it's sexy, but Black Wall Street wasn't even Black Wall Street. It was Little Africa. They have a concept, because they call it Black Wall Street, that black people had a part to do with it. But as I just showed you, oh man, I close it out. But as I just showed you guys, I'm pulling my picture back up. On my picture. What happened to my picture? Why y'all let me close it? Y'all know I love that picture. Nah, I can't find it. It's messed up. Anyway, nothing ever happened as a unit. It all was one man or a small group of men. Here we go. I found it. Generational wealth starts with one risk taker. That one risk taker was O.W. Gurley. The problem that coloreds have, and I'm gonna let y'all come in, man, because if y'all don't come in, I'm gonna bail out. But I'm gonna let y'all come in. Y'all can ask me some other. When black men do something, they name the thing. Right? Black men do something, they name the thing. When black women do something, they name the woman. So psychologically, y'all think that these bitches actually know how to do shit, but they don't. And when they name the woman, they always talk about the first woman, right? The first black woman to do XYZ. Because that means men were already doing it, and a man had to teach a woman how to do it for a woman to know anything, because girls don't know shit, they just do shit. So what ends up happening is you need an O.W. Gurley, you need a Suge Knight, you need a Byron Allen, a Kanye West to be the first one over the mountain. Take the arrows. and be able to survive and come back and say, yo, I scouted the land, let's go. People intrinsically, black, white, or otherwise, people intrinsically are cowards. They run off numbers. The Mexicans talk crazy about black people when they 30 deep. When they by themselves, they're like, hey, Holmes, work off numbers. When a great man does a great deed and gets supported by 10 other men, they make things happen. And then everybody takes the credit, right? When black men do something, what black people say, especially black women, black people are awesome because you're not a man, you're people. When black people do shit, black people are awesome. When black women does some shit, black girl magic. Men had nothing to do with it, even though they don't know shit, they just did shit. Everybody that taught her how to do it was a man, but when they do it, it's black girl magic. When you do it, it's black people, and it's never you; it's black people did it. All right, I'm gonna categorically go through this comment that Blexit made. He said, "What about Madison?" Okay, Madison, I give you that. Out west, I give you that. North Avenue, no, that's a lot of Arabs and Asians now. Howard Street, all Jamaicans. I'm not counting them. Hold on. Take this quick intermission. I'll be right back. I ain't make it back before the commercial. All right, but let me go back through this. My bad, yo. I'm making some soap. I had to cut that off. All right, so North Avenue, no. Madison, yes. Howard Street, yes, but that's Jamaicans, not American blacks. 75th Street, abandoned. 79th Street, highest crime street in America. I have never seen a street that has crime from the lakefront all the way to the suburbs. 79th Street, that shouldn't even be a street. 87th, residential, etc. is etc. Okay, so I'm gonna address this real quick. What up, Mr. O? Let me address this real quick.
What it up?
He says, well, you got the wrong niggas at the table. I know one thing, I hate goofy niggas with money, and I know what to do with the money, so y'all can't say all black on that. No shit. Okay, check this out, knockout. Here's the thing. Black is for women, gays, and felons. So I don't even call myself black. I don't care what the colors do. But more than that, the dummies with the money aren't at the table. They're in the streets or they shopping. The people at the table are normally activists. And they don't have money. They always begging for money. That's how they get carpetbagged. That's how you get the Koch brothers and the I say his name was dude that fund Black Lives Matter. That's how they pay for your politicians, because y'all got activists. When everybody else sends their lawyers and their business people to represent them in this corporatocracy, black people send activists and pastors because they just like the show. Anyway, the whole thing is you don't even have to be at the table. Let me show you who's at the table. Let me show you guys who at the table. No, I don't even think you guys really understand how bananas this shit is. That's some bullshit. Let's try it again. I'm gonna show you at the table then. Oh, there you go. This is the National Urban League. You can look at the NAACP. You can look at Operation Push. You can look at all of them. You're going to have something similar to this. When you look at the National Urban League website, the first thing you see is Akeisha, right? First thing you see is Akeisha. When they have their events on what is right for Black Americans, oh, they took it off. Did they take it off? It was right here. And everybody on that mug was a white person. This guy right here, he's biracial and he supports the whites. But the last time they had events, everybody on there was a white woman. I promise you. Because I went on the site and I said, man, everything they're showing is white woman. And why they got this felon right here? When they show black men, it's always a tribute. A tribute to Bill Russell, a tribute to Michael E. Langley. But they don't do events with them. What they do is they don't do events with these guys. They just celebrate black men. No different than Black Lives Matter celebrates dead black men, but they give all the money to the Jews. So don't listen to these niggas because they dying to floss, bro. But what's up, Mr. O, man? Holla at me, man.
Yeah, I was just saying back, man, especially what you said about 79th Street being the man, you ain't never lied, bro. From the lakefront to west, going past Fort City, you can't make that shit up. But OW girly, man, so Black Wall Street was called Little Africa. These motherfuckers even was symbolically trauma bonding even back then, bro.
Honestly,
I know
yeah.
that's cold and deep. I know.
Yeah. But I don't think they called it that. I think the other people called it that. And then Booker T just rebranded it. But here's my thing, bro. To create a system of structure and infrastructure has to be done in such a way that you got to say fuck everybody except your tribe.
Yep. In that order. I mean, the Jews do it, the Italians did it, the Irish did it. Why we can't do it?
We can do it except everybody want to include toddlers.
Yeah, I see why that would be a problem. Yeah, because we love that bitch too much. I don't, but these niggas do.
Yeah, but we only need 15 people that don't.
Actually, I think we need 20. You gotta keep that even number. You want to keep the odds with the broads.
No, you keep an odd number because you need that deciding vote. But it don't matter because ain't nobody voting.
True.
Lexit is really campaigning for these colors. Check this out. Let me tell you a story. True story. Pull up this person because I want y'all to. I'll show it to you while I'm looking. This lady name is Latasha Thomas. I don't know what this artist's going to say, but I'm going to click it. I'm not going to accept no cookies. I don't know who Clark Hill is, and I'm not accepting no cookies. Anyway, Latasha Thomas was a former City of Chicago alderperson.
I heard of her. Was she in like the damn what? Go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
She's in 17 wards. You ain't got to guess. It's right here. I don't know why I didn't get no bigger. Anyway.
Yeah, I see it.
She was an alderman of the 17th ward. I think I froze. I think that's what happened. Maybe I should shut down Zoom. But I'm trying to do something. I'm actually trying to connect the Zoom to the courses so you guys could do y'all study group for tolerability. And if somebody can tell me if Zoom got a embed code, that would be very nice. because I'm trying to put that in the course so you guys can study. Anyway, because I'm always looking out for y'all, man, because I want y'all to be good, so you don't kill me over a toddler. Anyway, I went to Latasha Thomas's office in 2010, maybe 11. I had an
And
idea.
what happened? And what happened?
So I wanted Latasha. I went to the Cook County Jail on 26 California. At that time, Cook County Jail had 8,000 beds, but they had 10,000 inmates. You feel what I'm saying?
Yep.
People had the little gondola boat thing sleeping on the floor. I went to.
Futon.
You say what?
A futon or something?
No, it's like a gondola, bro. Like, let me see if I can find a picture of a gondola. It looks something like this, but it wasn't nearly as luxurious. It was just plastic, and they put it on the floor with a mattress inside of it, and you just slept on the floor, so they could put 3 in the cell instead of 2 in the cell.
Damn, really?
Yeah. So I went to Cook County Jail, and I asked them if I could start a book club, and they said sure. And they was arrogant as fuck too, bro. Like, it was so arrogant, it was sexy, right? Because I'm going my whole spiel, like, look, I got a nonprofit. If y'all need to sign off on it, what do I have to do? Who do I woo? And it was like, how much the books? I'm like, $20 a piece. And they was like, okay, we figured like 1 out of 10 inmates will want to get out their cells, so we're gonna get 1,000 books at a time. It's 10,000 people in jail at that time, right? They said, man, we're gonna get you 1,000 books per month from you. How much? I said $20. They said, bet. I said, man, do y'all need a group discount? This motherfucker was on the phone, nigga. I heard the arrogance through the phone. He said, a discount? Nigga, we the county. I said, God damn, man. Like, nigga, they burning money, right? So I said, cool. I said, what do I have to do? They said, man, you have to fill out this application. And they sent me an application, came in a manila envelope like this. I ain't got no, yes, I do. It was a 26-page, about 20 pages. They sent in a manila envelope. I filled it out. They saying you have to get two endorsements from officials. They say it could be your alderman and your pastor. Tell your pastor to say you a good person. Tell your alderman to say you a good person. Send back the application. We're gonna give you $20,000 a month. You just got to promise to come in bi-weekly and read a book with them. Nigga, you think I ain't gonna read my books with niggas? Fuck yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I'm like, nigga, I was gonna write more books, nigga. I was gonna make pamphlets, nigga, every motherfucking month, nigga, and charge $20 for a pamphlet, nigga. I'm in this bitch. I go to Latasha's office, and this bitch thought she was Don Corleone, bro. I walked in, there were 4 gentlemen in there. Just want to see this goofy pants wearing bitch. I walk in there, there's 4 gentlemen in there. At this time, I'm like late 20s, right? Early 30s. How old was it? 2010? 2010, I was 31. These guys are in their mid-50s. They're trying to buy all the houses on their block because they want to rehab the houses and sell houses in their community. They want to be able to start their own property management group and choose their neighbors, which is every man's inalienable right to choose their neighbors. Black people got red lines, so they don't understand the value of handpicking who you want to live next to, right?
Yep, that's a whole benefit. That's how you build a whole gated community. That's how you build a Chinatown. That's how you build and keep the money and revenue circulating in that community because y'all know who y'all buying from, and y'all can even give each other discounts and make the other people pay more.
Exactly. So she turned those men away and said that she had already sold the deeds to those abandoned properties to a Lithuanian group. Now, you're supposed to be the alderman for this community, and you're selling your property to people outside the community, which is anti what aldermen are supposed to do. That's politics are local. And you already went out your locale to support some Lithuanians. Okay, cool. So I walk up on this pants wearing bitch. Put this bitch out here again. Cause fuck it. I want y'all to tell you something else. Latasha Thomas is also the person that signed off to close down those 49 elementary schools. Because she was also the school board, the city council president for the school board. So she's closing down the schools. And I'm telling her, I said, look, shorty, you got the highest crime rate in your area. You shut down schools, the rate gonna go higher. All them people gonna be in jail. Help me get my book club in the jail. The bitch tell me, I don't give a fuck about them people in jail.
Damn. Your alderman, a Tyler alderman said that to you.
Bro, when I tell you that my hate for these Tylers are righteous.
As it should be. As it should be, bro.
Are you understanding me?
Yes. Yes. I understand you wholeheartedly, bro. I understand you wholeheartedly. They make me nauseous too.
So then when I said, you know what? If I can't go to the jails, I'm going to go to the schools. So then I hollered at Karen Lewis. Let's look up Karen Lewis. I'll say it right here. Karen Lewis, president of the Chicago Teachers Union. Now I go to the teachers direct. Talk to this goofy bitch. You know what this bitch said?
What?
This fat wobbly
Karen,
bitch.
oh, Lord.
She said, even though that's her husband right here too, by the way. Her husband black, her daddy black, her mama white, I think. Or vice versa. Her mama black, her daddy white. However it go, she's a mulatto mutt bitch, right?
Right.
Goes and said, I don't give a fuck about the black boys. Because I'm like, yo, y'all need a black boy curriculum. And they said, well, I don't give a fuck about them black boys. She said, I'm not even black. I'm white. She said that shit right before.
Are you serious?
In Harold Washington Center, Cultural Center on 55th and King Drive. I see this bitch right before the Channel 7 News running camera, and she looked dead at me and said, I ain't even black. You know what I'm saying? I don't fuck them nigga boys. She ain't say nigga boys. Fuck them little black boys.
Can't make this shit up.
Can't make this shit up. So when I tell y'all, I'm like, yo, these bitches are the ops. Niggas is thinking pussy. Because that's all black people concerned about is, oh, we got to fuck our way back into the black family. The black family never worked because these bitches been the ops. Your grandma stayed married to your grandfather for 55 years and slept in separate bedrooms because she was the ops. She was the one burning bras for your mama or your grandma, depending on how old you are. The civil rights generation was the ones burning bras so the baby boomers could smoke.
Hey, look, I keep on saying that shit, bro. Look. You know, I got supreme. Now you talking about righteous hatred. I have a righteous hatred for that Big Ma, Big Pa situation that we got going on. Talking about, well, they make, like, you motherfuckers don't understand why and how they made it. But go ahead, O.
All I'm saying is everything that you want to do as a heterosexual 20 man, it's a black woman that's the gatekeeper to keep you away from greatness. Men are awesome. The only way that women can keep their position is by tearing you down because they have no power. You gave them the power, then you asked for some power back. Like these bitches are power brokers, but it was your power in the first place. Let me tell you something. If a black felon gets killed tomorrow, they'll have protests in the streets.
Yo, are you gonna go into that Joker line? You gonna go to that Joker line from The Dark Knight, ain't you?
I wasn't, but I'm just saying, if a black man get killed in the street tomorrow, they're gonna be a protest parade. Black women can come on missing every day. Nobody gives a shit.
Yep. In that order.
Slicker said, shout out to Slicker for this because it's funny. I don't know if it's true or not, but it's hilarious. He says, if you're living in a major city and you're not rich, you're doing it wrong. You have to spend way more money to live away from the Section 8 chicks and their kids. Okay, so here's the thing. That's not true. But it's funny, but it's not true. But I like it, but it's not true. I'll tell you what the truth is. The truth is that it costs more to live around Section 8 chicks because your taxes pay for the Section 8 chick.
Boom.
it's cheaper to live other places. There's a lot of very wealthy people in
You
town.
see why Dave Chappelle started calling that goofy ass out when he was coming at.
Yeah, they was like, y'all can't move here, bitch. I don't care where you live, but it can't be here. And shout out to Dave for that. So here's my thing, and I'm trying to wait till I get to 1,000 subs. Every once in a while, I try to slip in some real shit. But them fuckers got to try, but the infrastructure is there, the contracts are there, everything is there. You just got to understand that it'll look nothing like anything you ever imagined, because black people don't do shit. No people does shit. I'm not putting down black people. No group of people do anything. A great person of a particular group does a thing and then brings in his brethren. The problem with colors is a great man will do a thing and then bring in women. You get the Dame Dash. How Dame like, I got on and my whole team women. And y'all ain't heard from Dame since.
Yep.
When Dame was fucking with Big, what's my man name? Biggs Burke and Jay-Z.
Yep.
And Cameron was coming through like, yo, that's the big homie from the building.
And Biggie, you forgot about Biggie had an instrumental what's the name information before he got clapped. So yeah.
Biggie, Omar Epps, they grew up in the same building. Supreme. When Dame was
hanging. Then Mekhi Phifer too.
Who?
Mekhi Phifer. Then Mekhi
That's
Phifer.
What I apologize. I said Omar Epps. It was Mekhi Phifer. You're right. It was Mekhi Phifer. When Dame was hanging with the guys, Dame could not be stopped. When Dame said, I don't trust men, I'm just gonna hit all women. Dame has been getting sued for child support, palimony, businesses getting shut down, and he still ain't realized that these Tylers are the ops. You feel what I'm saying?
Yep. Rachel, what was her name? Rachel Roy.
Rachel Roy. Yep.
Badass, fine motherfucker. Oh God.
When you build with the men, when you build with the guys, I want to show y'all. I want to prove something to y'all, and I ain't gonna hold y'all because I said what I want to say, and that's all I was gonna say about this. Like and sub as y'all come in, man. If anything I'm saying touching y'all, man, pay y'all daycare fees. I want y'all to understand this. When you look at a popular guy, right? Dudes is like real life popular. They have friends, and they throw cookouts, and people come and say hi. When you see men who have male friends, those men always be straight. When you see ladies, men who just surround themselves with women all the time, their bread don't be right. They be shining, but their bread don't be right. Like, think about the guys from elementary and high school who don't really have no male friends. That means they get no male advice, which means that women can put them on an island and destroy their life, and nobody knows until he back fucked up in his grandma's basement.
Damn.
I want to give a shout out to Zone for the $2 cash app. Shout out to XL Pro for the $5 cash app. And a shout out to Money Making Mitch for the $2 cash app. Yeah, man. So all I want to tell you guys, I'm gonna let this I'm gonna let the last 2 minutes of this Black Wall Street play out, and I'm gonna let you say your closing. And man, hold on, let me address this. How is that true, Slick? How are you in the same tax group if you're in the same? Oh, he said county. I thought you said country. All right, never mind. I thought you said country. I'm like, how the fuck? Never mind. All right, so last.
The destruction was almost complete. Property damage conservatively estimated was $1.5 to $2 million. Again, that's conservatively estimated. And that would translate today well over $25 million. It is a complicated event. I would say, by way of context, that it is also emblematic of the racial violence that suffused the United States.
Just pause real quick. $25 million in today's money ain't that much money, but I'm gonna address that in a minute.
During this period, and it's impossible to understand what happened in Tulsa in 1921 if you don't appreciate the kind of systemic racism that was operating in the country during that period and thereafter. The community was rebuilt after that to a substantial degree, peaking in the 1940s, early to mid-1940s, with well over 200 documented Black-owned and operated businesses. But then there was a second devastation. This was not a devastation affected through violence, but rather through policy. So generally, Black wealth is 1/10 of white wealth. That's sort of the general standard. And why is that? It's because the lack of the ability part of African Americans to transfer wealth intergenerationally, because there are barriers to that. Among the barriers are these incidents, like the one in Tulsa, the massacre. It really obliterated Black wealth that would have otherwise transferred across generations. As Americans, we're not really good about addressing hard history, and we're not really good about making sure our textbooks include history that is troubling, particularly around race. In Tulsa in particular, Tulsa was on an upward trajectory in 1921. It went on to become the self-described oil capital of the world. So the leaders were not really interested in promoting or including this history in documents. In fact, they had an interest in minimizing this history.
No sound.
Few decades. The answer is, of course, I don't know.
Hold on. Apparently,
had it not been for the massacre.
You said, would Tulsa have been Atlanta? The answer is no, but I want y'all to hear it.
Textbooks include history that is troubling, particularly around race. In Tulsa in particular, Tulsa was on an upward trajectory in 1921. It went on to become the self-described oil capital of the world. So the leaders were not really interested in promoting or including this history in documents. In fact, they had an interest in minimizing this history.
All right, real quick. Who said that the oil was found? Like I was saying earlier, originally that's not why they went out there in 1890. They found the oil during the Great Depression in the 1920s. So that was after the bombing. So I just wanted to say that, but you're right. That's why they rebuilt Tulsa, and there was oil out there. I was just talking about the timeline. That's why I said you're not wrong. The timeline was different.
Would Tulsa have been Atlanta had it not been for the massacre? Because Atlanta is considered kind of the Black Mecca and has been for the last few decades. The answer is, of course, I don't know.
Well, I know. The answer is no. And the reason Atlanta became the Mecca had nothing to do with money. Atlanta became the Mecca because niggas love pussy.
Exactly. They only became the Mecca in the 1980s when the boomers became extra fucking perverts because of Bike Week and Freaknik.
Bike Week and Freaknik. So it's very well that Myrtle Beach, South Carolina could have been Atlanta as well, because niggas travel for pussy. And they went down to Atlanta and was like, man, yo, I like it down here. It's cheap living. It had nothing to do with money. It was cheap living. The same reason y'all want to be passport bros, like, oh, Brazil so much cheaper. That's how they felt about Atlanta until every nigga moved to Atlanta. So no, it would not have been unless they had some freaky deaky shit going on in Tulsa. So, and that wouldn't have made sense because there's no major transportation hub in Tulsa. So even then, it probably would have been Oklahoma City. But let's continue.
And we'll never know. But certainly Tulsa would be more advanced economically in terms of the Black community had it not been for that great disruptor that was the massacre. I talk about the Black Wall Street mindset, and that is the indomitable human spirit, the sort of can-do attitude in the economic and entrepreneurial realm. And that's what resonates with me when I think about Black Wall Street. It's not necessarily a geographic space. It's not a particular set of enterprises. It's a mindset. And it's a mindset that is malleable and portable.
Okay, time out. Here's my problem with the outro. let me break down a few things. If they had $2 million worth of property damage in the 19 teens, early 1920s, and they said that equates to $25 million today. $25 million is not a lot of money, so you can't get a Wall Street from that, right? If you look
Hell, you
at
can't even get put a down payment on some shit like that.
if you look at the average 4 block radius in any major city, Chicago, LA, New York, shit, Detroit, Atlanta, there's normally 60 dwellings per block, and that's not including apartment buildings, right? Every house has an estimation of $100,000, and I'm rounding out. I'm talking just straight in the hood. You're looking at $100,000. So $100,000 times 60, and I'm gonna do the math for you guys. I want you guys to do the math with me because I don't want you guys to get lost. And I just click some shit I ain't mean to click.
600,000.
Right, it's 600. No, is it?
You said six. What say they get 600 for 600 residents for what? My bad. All I heard
No,
was 600 and 100,000. My bad.
no, let's look. If you
When I
have,
found out that Google was
I ain't answering about Google. All right. So if you have 60 houses per block times $100,000 per house, you have $6 million. That's on the average block in Chicago, Detroit, New York, LA. If you do a 4 block radius, which is 4 block radius is actually 16 blocks, right? Because it's 4 times 4, right? 4 block radius is $96 million worth of real estate. It doesn't seem like it when you're walking from your house to the corner store, but that's about what you're looking at. And I can even say that instead of 16, we can say it's 8 houses. We can say two blocks per 60 houses. You're still at 48 million. So $25 million is not a lot of property, if that makes sense. So what y'all looking at is a holistic version of redlining, and y'all romanticize redlining. The same redlining that tore down the projects and put all those project people in whatever black communities they could find. That's redlining. They made the most out their red line, but it's redlining. Redlining does not make a place. The neighbors make the place. You understand what I'm saying? You can for what it is that Tony and swarthy men need to do. And I say men because girls don't build shit. Girls just move into where the build is at.
Like you said before, bitches don't know shit. They just do shit. Hey, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and say like this on your podcast, like this. Shout out to man. Look, welcome to the Dirty Folks podcast. This is your host, Dirty Folks, and I'm just I guess you know, saying Mr. O with the info, giving what you need to know. But these strags will tell you, are you educated? Tell you that they're educated, but can't work themselves out of a wet paper fucking bag.
Girls don't know shit. They just do shit. The only thing that girls know is what a man taught them. And all the professions that they take, they have no correlation to it, right? So I'll give you an example. Girls will tell you that marriage is slavery, right? They'll say, what type of girl will cook for their man every day and run his bath water and sit there and listen to his nigga talk and blah blah blah. They'll tell you that, right? But then their job is to be a CNA. Shorty, your whole job is to wipe ass and bathe people and listen to their old ass stories and feed them. So you'll go outside the house to do that for an old person, but you can't do it for a man that's providing the house for you. This is how they think because girls are dumb, right? They say they
Man, bro, just like I'm doing a pre-record of this nigga basically flying a bitch out, spent $5,000 on the bitch, and the bitch talking about don't touch her and all that other bullshit. He had to kick the bitch out, and flew her out on Delta because she talking about she don't do Spirit, bro. Man, I'm about to break this shit down, bro.
some other dude they kicked out and canceled the flight.
Man, look, no, this is another one. This is another dude. He spent soon as she touched down, he bought her. He bought her Uber there to the hotel. Spent money for the flight. Took her to a steakhouse, bought her all that other shit. Let her spend there for 2 days and even get the draws, bro. Blew 5 bands.
Well, it sucks to be him, but he should have gave me 5 bands, and that's my point. There's disposable income out here, but you got to see the things that dudes spend money on, right? And it's always tolerant things, right? So you got to understand that. And I'm looking at the chat, and the chat is saying, okay, here's the thing. First of all, they they um they tag you in this red line stuff, and then they assign things to you, right? So you haven't assigned everything. You haven't assigned school, assigned mate, assigned everything. And that's not how things should work. The problem is a cultural problem. The problem is not an economic problem. Y'all keep crying about economics because girls want to blow $5,000 and not give you no ass, but it's not an economic problem. You understand what I'm saying? It's a cultural problem. It's and although I don't agree with this statement, I believe that he believes the statement. So I'm a let Ultra made a comment. He says the only way Black Wall Street be successful in today's society is if white people owned it, because blacks do not like to see other blacks succeed. That is not true, but this is a cultural problem. But your reality is what you believe it is. The problem is culturally you don't like the smart kid. Blacks have been marching for 70 years because they don't want to listen to a smart kid with a 7-year plan. Ice Cube and Dr. Claude came through with a plan for black people, and black women said, what about women? And they said, aren't you black? And it was like, nah, but we need something specific. Y'all keep trying to include the ops in your shit. You understand what I'm saying?
I mean, I'll let them starve. I'll do a pretty Tony said back in the Mac. He said, man, I don't give them no money. Man, fuck that shit. He was a prophet.
When I say, man, I got a plan, it's like when I told people I want to own a bank. And I know everything it is about banking. Because that's my passion, right? To be a banker and an infomercial star. That's what I want to do, right? And the reason
Great combination. That's a great combination.
I know, right? Like, it's my money and I need it now. Anyway,
literally.
So what I know everything about banks. You know how I know everything about banks?
Why?
Because that was my hustle. So I had to know the bank's job better than the bank did in order for the bank to give me tens of thousands of dollars at a time, right?
So are you saying the banks is just like Tyler's?
When you go to the bank, who's your cashier?
A Tyler.
Okay. Who do you think does the count at the drop?
Oh, wait. I got to rephrase that. Depending what kind of bank you go to, it might be a black person, literally, a felon that just came home and that's his work release program. Also, a black toddler, and of course, the alphabet man. So it could be either one.
Okay, I'll ride with that. The people that do the drop are not felons, but they are either gay or women. And the reason being is because for as much money as banks play with, it's a low paying job, right? Nobody's getting rich working at the bank, right? So what they do is they compartmentalize. It's 3 or 4 different departments that don't communicate, but they give their information to the other departments. But that's any business. If you work at a call center, the people on the call center floor don't talk to accounting, and accounting don't really talk to the sales team like that, and nobody talks to middle management until middle management come in the office.
Bro, that's how they work. That's how they do right here in my hotel, bro. Exactly the way.
So that is what it is, and I just understood every department. So I'm like, yo, I could do a bank, and then when they talking about there was no black banks, and I'm like, yo, that's because black bankers are stupid, right? And this is why they stupid. Because there's a legal version for every crime, right? If I know a loan shark, why can't I own a title loan company?
Facts. Damn, man, I was just my cousin said the same shit.
I will hire all the felons, my nigga. You know what I'm saying? Because as consultants, they can work there, but I give them a job as trainers, and they be the management trainers and shit. Because the feds do that. When you're a good hacker, the feds hire you. You don't go to jail. The feds be like, we need you in our cybersecurity department.
Like that, like Leo DiCaprio, person. What was that movie? What was the name of that movie? Catch Me If You Can. They hired his ass after they called his ass.
Yeah. So why wouldn't you do the same? You see the versions everywhere, but black people don't. Black men don't trust black men because they listen to black women, and black women have horrible discernment. So now all the black men are running around thinking they're the only good black man, and they can't trust nobody. But 80% of men are awesome. You should be following black men. The only time you see black men follow black men is in crime and in sports. But there's so many avenues that black men are great at, but they think they're the only good man because of the culture. It's a culture problem. It's not an economic problem. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Men can turn this around once men believe that men can turn it around. But, you know, it is what it is. But it's not going to be every man. It's going to be 10, 15 guys that do it. And everybody going to take credit for it. Like, yeah, look at them. And they're going to try to copy, but ain't no copy. Just like you can't copy being Jewish. And Jews were just, they were bankers. They were bankers and accountants that was like, yo, we tired of being trailer park trash. So we only going to believe in the old.
And that's when they pick up the blicky too. And they say, you know what? We might as well hang with these Italians too.
Right. And they ain't hold a blicky. The Italians protected them. Well, Meyer did. Meyer Lansky picked up the blicky. But most of them were just counting.
Man, Bugsy was the nigga was a hitter.
Yeah, he was a hitter too. But I'm saying most of them didn't. Most of them just worked in accounting. They didn't really get dirty. They just helped the dirty.
Hey, can I give Bugsy Siegel his credit? That nigga actually had a fucking vision, even though he kind of fucked up. He had vision. He kind of fulfilled it until it was the fucking bro. But go ahead.
But here's the thing with Bugsy. Let's shout out to Bugsy Siegel. I'm gonna pull up Bugsy picture because I want y'all to understand what I'm about to say. Bugsy Siegel. Pull up his picture for y'all. You know what made Bugsy Siegel phenomenal? And this is exactly what I'm talking about. I'm glad you said Bugsy because he makes the example. Bugsy was from New York. Bugsy said, I'm going to go to the desert and build some shit. And everybody said, boy, you crazy. He was like, nah, let me grind it out, bro. I'm going to build some shit. And it was like, man, I don't give a fuck what you do with your money. But we going to Cuba. Because Cuba was still open at that time, right?
Yep. Before Castro said, man, he put a coup de grace in Bautista players and said, man, get y'all goofy giddy asses up off my island.
And even with Cuba, there was only 3 guys: Fidel, his brother, and Che Guevara. They kicked all that off.
And Che Guevara was the real hitter.
He was the hitter. So you have every situation you see, everybody gets credit for what a small amount of people do. What Bugsy did was he was a driving force behind the development of the Las Vegas Strip. And to this day, it still exists. You just call it Old Vegas. When you're on the Strip, they got Old Vegas and New Vegas. So if you stay at the Stratosphere Hotel, where I stay at because I'm cheap, that's Old Vegas. But if you're at the MGM Grand, that's New Vegas. Old Vegas and New Vegas is the same street. You could walk to New Vegas from Old Vegas. You feel what I'm saying?
Yep.
So when I say, man, I want to go to when I want to go to New Mexico and build a city in the desert, and people say, man, you crazy. And I'm like, yo, we're going to do our own banking, our own type of currency. And like, yo, you can't do that. And I'm like, everybody does it. Y'all niggas investing in crypto right now. What you mean I can't make my own currency? It's people out here who live in trailer parks right now. What you mean I can't do prefab houses anywhere? Like, the technology is here for us to move around and
They got 3D fucking cribs that you can actually, man. Don't listen to these motherfucking people that's stuck in the district age, man.
I don't listen to these niggas because all these niggas want to do is tell you what you can't do and what about the bitches. And I'm telling you, nigga, these bitches will do whatever. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if
And it won't include your goofy ass unless you need a fucking dildo or some kind of court gesture after fucking work. These niggas are still stuck in the what was the name of that damn show, bro? They really want to be this. I can't. But go ahead, bro. I'm gonna come back to it.
all I'm saying is what I'm saying. All I'm saying is this.
They want to be the black Marcy Darcy husband.
Oh, yeah. What was his name? I know you're talking about the second husband, the one that just live off a bitch. Look, bro. At the end of the day,
I think Al hit that too. I think he hit old girl.
maybe. I don't think so though. I don't think so. But here's the thing. Culture is what you make it, and culture is based on your economic base, right? So if you think it's money in crime and you think it's money in sports, you think it's money being a rapper, there's a lot of failed rappers. There's a lot of people that never went to the league. There's a lot of dudes who've been selling nickel bags of weed for 15 years. They never became the weight man.
Man, shout out to Kendall Gill.
Shout out to Kendall. He went to King, right?
Yep. And he's still the stills leader too. I'll be working with him sometimes in the radio department, but go ahead.
Shout out to Kendall Gill, man. Kendall was a real one. Him and Marcus Liberty, they was real ones.
And so Antoine was a real one too.
So was D Rose and his brother Reggie. It was real ones too.
Oh, and my boy from 95th too. What was his name? Not Tony. What was his name? Tony Allen?
Tony Allen ain't no real one. Tony Allen can't even come back home before
he was cool. I met him though, but hey, it is what it is. But Chicagoans go be Chicagoans. Go ahead.
Yeah, the Four Corner Hustlers on his ass. They got like a permanent hit on that nigga. I don't know what he did to him, but ain't no peace. Anyway, and ain't my business because I don't even care what he did to him. Quentin Richardson from here, but I don't know if Quentin the real one, but Quentin was from here. Anyway, what's the name stay here now? Big GD. They used to play Debo. They used to play for the Grizzlies. What was Debo's real name?
Shit. I know who you're talking about too.
Look it up.
Not Dan Pierre, no. Yeah, but Bugsy, he actually had a vision, even though he kind of fucked up the buddy by messing with the damn Strag, Virginia Hill.
Zach Randolph.
Randolph. Yeah, Zebo.
Yeah, Zebo. Yeah, Zach Randolph, he coaching on the north side of Chicago right now. He coaching basketball. He a real one too.
That's what's up.
I say all that to say this. Y'all want an economic base, y'all want to be wealthy, y'all want to be seen as men, then that means you got to start your own commerce in your own section. No different than the fucking nerds did in San Francisco. Now they call that shit Silicon Valley. It was like 3 dudes like, yo, we just gonna stay here and make our little microchips. And they ended up their money for the equipment to do it. And now they call that shit Silicon Valley, one of the richest places in America. Black people could do it, but they don't believe they could do it. And what you believe and what you don't believe is both true. You feel what I'm saying?
Yep.
When I tell you that you can have a pick-me pipeline, that's very possible. Pick-me's don't feel protected. So they don't come out the closet. They get ostracized. People talk bad about them. They get threatened by other girls because mean, fat, ugly bitches. But if you gave them a safe space.
And little titty bitches mean too. They are, man. That's what you could tell a little titty bitch, man. You could tell a little titty bitch, like, man, look, I don't know why you're so mad for. You ain't like you got nothing to come off your chest.
See, that's why they hate you. But here's the thing. My point is, everybody wants a place that they can go and be free. The same way they redline you by color, you can redline people by profession. Say, you know what? We want to be known for this. They do it everywhere. When Detroit was Motown, people moved to Detroit just so they could be singers. You know what I'm saying? Same thing with New York, same thing with LA. You know, a lot of things used to pop in Chicago. Playboy Mansion was here, Soul Train was here, Universal Records was here. People came to Chicago for the same thing. Once you brand yourself as whatever, but you don't have to brand yourself as a minstrel.
Hell, job headquarters. I just found this out, bro. Job headquarters was literally downtown. So you mean to tell me you have all these damn Chicago hip hop artists right here in your damn backyard? Y'all niggas didn't want to march downtown, and y'all was hating on each other to get on. We could have had Job here as like our rap a lot, just like motherfucker Def Jam was in New York, just like Death Row was in L.A. You mean that's why I hate Chicago niggas.
Yeah, me too. But here's the thing. Chicago dudes take over every place outside of Chicago. Chicago guys are probably the most upstanding men you'll ever find outside of Chicago. In Chicago, in Detroit, don't trust these niggas. Don't trust these new niggas over there. But outside of Chicago, when we all we got, man, them the dudes you want to work with. They don't care about gangs or nothing. They be like, yo, we both from Chicago, B. We in the middle of nowhere, man. We in Utah. We in South Dakota. We in North Dakota. We in Iowa. Like, bro, it's just us. And people move as such. And that's what I'm saying, man. Builded people will come. The right people will come because you get to choose your neighbors. Anyway, but that's all I want to say about this Black Wall Street piece, man. The Black Wall Street was a nigga.
And when you have kids with your homeboy and your concubines and his concubines, y'all can go ahead and tell your kids, like, look, y'all get together, y'all can turn this damn tradition, y'all tell y'all kids do the same shit for the next generation to come. That's how the shit was after Reconstruction up until the
And that's how
1920s.
community works. That's how the village is. If Mr. O had kids and he my man's, I'm gonna look after his because he is playing with mine. So you got to know that I'm making sure my kids straight. So your kids with my kids, your kids gonna be straight. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's how it works. But
And all the way up to the 1920s. See, that's why I love when bitches want to talk about that damn color purple shit. I'll be like, one tell them, like, yo, look, y'all that bitch Suge, that was 85% of y'all bitches out there. Y'all want fucking Celie? Y'all was actually old girl. And look, we got the flapper girls in 2020. When they had the flapper girls in the 1920s, we got the whopper girls in the 2020s. Same fucking difference.
most of them was Suge and most of them was Oprah, fighting people and fucking people. There were very few Celies.
But they want to say that a majority of them was Celie. They was getting their ass whooped by. Man, get the fuck out of here.
Luckily for the coloreds, I'm awesome. And white people like me. So I get the funding. And that's another thing. Most black businesses that are rich get their money from non-black people. Right? So they don't feel the vested interest in taking care of their people. And I understand that because, you know, fuck the people that said fuck you. But I will say this. A huge part of the problem is there's no farm system. Right? When you look at every other group, I don't care what group it is, they're grooming their youth to be a something. That's why you know the Jews are going to be accountants. That's how you know the Arabs are going to own gas stations. They got their 11-year-old sons working the cash register at the gas station. Like, this going to be yours one day, right? There's no farm system for colors because women don't believe in structure.
Because they have kids by multiple different names.
Yeah, that's who. But in either case or whatever case, they're your generational curse. So if you want to remove the curse, then you have to remove them and you have to start fresh. And then you can select who you want to select and create the rules of engagement that work for you. So everything is contract law in America. America makes laws. Those are default laws. Then they give you the opportunity to make your own laws. That's every province. Like the laws in Chicago ain't the laws in Springfield, and it's the same state. The laws in Illinois ain't the laws in Indiana, and they right next to each other. Every province gets to make their own rules.
Hey, did you hear what Indiana just did too, by the way?
What?
They the first official state to ban the deletion of babies, if you know what I mean, wholeheartedly through the whole entire state.
Shout out to them. There are places that allow you to do whatever you want to do. No child support. You want to have 3 wives? That's fine. All you do is create your infrastructure for that, and then you make your system. Black men can't create a system because they keep looking out to black women. So they have the exact system that they want. Don't never let these black women tell you that about racism because they love this system. They call the system on you all the time. They tell you they're gonna go to the system for housing, they're gonna go to the system for food, they're gonna go to the system for security. The only thing they want you for is dick. And you so much more than that. But you believe you only good for dick because you listen to black women. These bitches don't know shit. They just do shit. Anyway, I'm gonna set this short, man. You got any last words?
All right, bro. I'm gonna holler at you later. I gotta finish doing this pre-record, but shit, man, nice chopping up with you, man. We need more OW girlies, but they gotta have a Suge Knight mentality. That's my hot stance.
I'm here for you, baby. I got you. Who should more than me, baby? All right. So, and I need you to holler at me, man. We got to get these dirty folks skits done, man. I need to do some commercials. People forget
Yeah,
about
I
you.
got. I'm gonna chop it up with you, man, because shit, I got a lot of I got a lot of stuff this month. I ain't gonna lie to you. And you trying to do something with this man meetup next month too. So I'm trying to get my schedule all the way cleared up so we can handle this thing.
I said that is next month. All right. I was like, damn, is this supposed to be August 17th? It's September 17th. All right, bet. I know what we're talking about. So we'll
Yep.
talk, bro. So I'm gonna let you ride, bro, and I'm gonna shut this down. So, man, look, guys, fuck all that Black Wall Street shit. All that is marketing, bro. All of that is marketing. They just telling you a thing, bro. That's all they doing. They put black on anything and y'all ride with it. Black Wall Street, black whatever. Y'all just roll with it, bro. Y'all don't have to, bro. Anyway, try but man. Love each other as you love yourself. Feed the pack. And take y'all tolerology, bro. Because I can't try with niggas who will kill me over a bitch. So y'all got to be certified in tolerology before you can get real gang, man. And I'm out. Toddler tales are crazy stories that could only happen to me. Each tale is endorsed by Toddlerology and the Marry Your Secretary courses. In a world where toddlers are only loyal to her employer, learn the skills needed to train your toddler to work at your relationship like she works at her job. There's courses for every level of your relationship status, including polygamy. Need support? Join scheduled study groups with other Toddlerology members. Click the link below. And now, back to today's story.
Welcome to the daycare. Welcome to the daycare. Welcome to the daycare. Welcome to the daycare. Stay away from cities with dyke mayors. They spray the pipes major. Don't play with your life, player. Or shake the dice, player. But if you got a quota, then stay away from toddlers. These bitches are fight promoters. Welcome to the daycare. Welcome to the daycare. Welcome to the daycare. Welcome to the daycare. Train your toddler. Please train your toddler. Whippings, timeouts, take her allowance. Cause on what she will destroy your life if you allow it. Fucking, I'm tired of rapping. Yo, low, bring in the choir. Welcome to the daycare. Welcome to the daycare. Welcome to the daycare. Welcome to the daycare.
Why are you moving out? Why did Daddy say so?
Because we were talking about every night, I wanted some boyfriends, so I'm moving out.
Because
Okay.
Daddy told you you can't have a boyfriend in his house? So you're moving out?
Yes.